Hello and Namaste. 2500 years ago, in a fertile land along the border between Nepal and India, a child was born who was to become the Gautam Buddha. It is said that before the birth of Gautam Buddha, his mother, the Queen Maya, had a dream. A beautiful white elephant offered the queen a lotus flower and then entered her womb. When sages were asked to interpret the dream, they predicted the queen would give birth to a son destined to become either a great ruler or a holy man. Within 10 months of the dream, a baby boy was born, emerging from her side. According to the legends about this birth, the baby began to walk 7 steps forward, and at each step a lotus flower appeared on the ground. 7 days later, the queen died. According to the prophecy, Siddhartha Gautam, birth name of Gautam Buddha, was supposed to be a great ruler, which was an important fact for his father. To keep Siddhartha Gautam from witnessing the miseries and sufferings of the world, Siddhartha's father raised him in opulence in a palace built just for the boy and sheltered him from knowledge of religion and human hardship. According to custom, he married at the age of 16, but his life of total seclusion continued for another 13 years. The prince reached his late 20s with little experience of the world outside the walls of his opulent palaces. But one day he ventured out beyond the palace walls and was quickly confronted with the realities of human frailty. He saw a very old man, and Siddhartha's charioteer explained that all people grow old. Questions about all he had not experienced led him to take more journeys of exploration, and on these subsequent trips he encountered a deceased man, a decaying corpse, and an ascetic. The charioteer explained that the ascetic had renounced the world to seek release from the human fear of death and sufferings. Siddhartha was overcome by these sights, and the next day, at age 29, he left his kingdom, wife, and son to lead an ascetic life and determine a way to relieve the universal suffering that he now understood to be one of the defining traits of humanity. For the next 6 years, Siddhartha lived an ascetic life and partook in its practices, studying and meditating using the words of various religious teachers as his guide. He practiced his new way of life with a group of 5 ascetics, and his dedication to his quest was so stunning that the 5 ascetics became Siddhartha's followers. When answers to his questions did not appear, however, he redoubled his efforts, enduring pain, fasting nearly to starvation, and refusing water. Whatever he tried, Siddhartha could not reach the level of satisfaction he sought, until one day when a young girl offered him a bowl of rice. As he accepted it, he suddenly realized that corporeal austerity was not the means to achieve inner liberation, and that living under harsh physical constraints was not helping him achieve spiritual release. So he had his rice, drank water, and bathed in the river. The 5 ascetics decided that Siddhartha had given up the ascetic life and would now follow the ways of the flesh, and they promptly left him. From then on, however, Siddhartha encouraged people to follow a path of balance. Instead of one characterized by extremism, he called this path the middle way. His quest of peace, a way of life which would be without worries and stress, was not yet achieved. One night, Siddhartha sat under the Bodhi tree, vowing to not to get up until the truths he sought came to him. And he meditated for several days, purifying his mind, seeing his entire life and previous lives in his thoughts, and soon a picture began to form in his mind of all that occurred in the universe and Siddhartha finally saw the answers to the questions of suffering that he had been seeking for so many years. In that moment of pure enlightenment, Siddhartha Gautam became the Buddha, the one who is awake. For the remainder of his 80 years, Buddha traveled preaching the Dharma in an effort to lead others to end along the path of enlightenment. When he died, it is said that he told his disciples that they should follow no leader. The Buddha is undoubtedly one of the most influential figures in the history of the world, and his teachings have affected everything from a variety of other faiths to literature to philosophy. Your feedback in the comment section will be appreciated. Thank you very much for watching.